Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Frontiers of Knowledge. Just imagine your day starting like this. You get up and you know that there's a barrage of emails and texts. Your boss wants you for an urgent meeting in London and you are still in New York. And he wants a meeting early this afternoon. It's morning. So what do? You grab an Uber downtown, take a ferry to a space platform in New York Harbor, go to the harbor, take the platform, go to a 350-foot high rocket, the big rocket. You rise up an elevator as if you are in a cabin, along with 100 other passengers, and then take to the sky. You are blasted like a rocket. You feel weightless as you soar over the curves of the earth at 17,000 miles an hour, 10 times the speed of Concorde supersonic jet. 29 minutes later, you touch down at an identical platform near the port of London. Another ferry, another car, and you make it to the meeting absolutely fresh and absolutely in time. Visionary. Yes and no. As a matter of fact, Elon Musk's sky-to-sky rocket is exactly this. And the purpose is that you reach anywhere in the world, to the extreme corner of the world, in a period of 1 hour. This is the vision of SpaceX CEO. And he was thinking of colonizing Mars. And then he thought, before going to the Mars, why not make this world more closer, bring it closer, make the travel faster and safer, and the cost cheaper. You travel anywhere in the world with an ordinary aircraft economy class fare. They have called this rocket BFR, Big F ing rocket. And this is city-wise intra-city service, latest commercial transit ever created. And it's not a tragedy. I mean, something imaginary or visionary. It is going to happen in the maximum period of 3 years. You see, if you build a ship that's capable of going to the Mars, and the same ship with minor modification can be created. This is a blastic physics, amazing travel time. New York to Shanghai, 39 minutes. LA to Tokyo, 32 minutes. And as I said, anywhere in the world, less than an hour. Would there be rocket lag the way we have jet lag now? I personally, in my whole life, never had something called jet lag. And that was after traveling so much, one develops an immunity to it. Whether it's something which is just a dream, and as I said, 3 to 5 years is the maximum, and you will have it. There's nothing to raise your eyebrows about it. As a matter of fact, this concept is not new. There have been attempts earlier, point-to-point rocketry on Earth, and till then now they were failures. But now there's a possibility with the advances in technology. Early in the 19th century, a German, Heinrich von Kleist, started using artillery to deliver mails. But he died. He could not achieve it. And then rocket mail happened a century later. Can you believe it? In 1931, Austrian rocket pioneer Schemdel launched 102 pieces of mail between towns, an idea which was picked up by many in Germany, India, and USA. But the point is, when you fire mail, it's okay from artillery, from the gun. But firing a mail, a person, a human being, can have a disastrous results. Then there was another guy, Pete Conrad. It was a forward-looking, forward-thinking Apollo 12 astronaut who walked to the moon in 1969. And Conrad worked at McDonnell Douglas and developed Delta Clipper X, which is a reusable rocket shuttle. And that is exactly the prototype which Elon Musk has in mind. This is capable of taking off and landing vertically. You see, another tale comes, if you have remembered. In NASA, there's a Roger Lequinas. He's a veteran space analyst and was a former chief historian at NASA. In 1980s, the US military spent billions of dollars, possibly you're not aware, but that's a fact. And these billions of dollars, the exact amount was kept classified, and it is even today in state secret. And the purpose was to develop a hydrosonic plane. Want to find the technical hurdles insurmountable? It's a bit different. But if you remember, last time we had talked of the hypersonic planes, which India and Russia are developing, and they are going to test it before 31st of December this year. That hypersonic plane and Elon Musk's idea are almost identical. And since the prototype is going to be tested in the next 2 months, you can be sure that when they talk of 3 years to test the prototype, have a trial run, and then put it for the commercial use, is not just a dream, there's a reality to it. This city-to-city rocketry concept lowers the cost per pound to orbit, change everything. Then there are other things. It's not just point to point, but it's much more practical. You see, till now, the cost of space access hovered around $10,000 a pound. And now, that was in 80s. And now the cost is $1,000 a pound. It's not near the economy rate, but it's a huge improvement. And if that has happened in 20 years, what was happening early in 20 years, 30 years, is now happening in 20 days. Let's not forget it. The pace of technological development is much more. And air traffic control, medical flight issues, customs, and other bureaucratic hassles are there, but none is insurmountable. You see, dreaming big and then achieving it is a great thing. This dreaming big of city-to-city rocketry started in the 19th century. Had some success in 1931, more success in 80s, and now the fruit is nearly ripe, ready to be plucked and enjoyed. The ultimate technology for opening up space access is a very radical concept called space elevator. And this is exactly just what it sounds. A cable reaching from the ground up to 23,000 miles high, with an elevator car riding the cable to deliver the people and satellites into the orbit. It would finally make space access routine, dirt cheap, and then beauty is it would run only on renewable energy, not on the energy by the fossil fuels, thereby eliminating the several 100,000 pounds of carbon emission which are at present involved in the rocket launches. You wouldn't believe it that one rocket launch causes as much carbon emission as the whole transport system of the world in 1 year. So, I was amazed, when I came to know that this space to ship or rocketry transport intra-city is already being tested at Syracuse University, and they say they can do it. They have done the lab tests and they have come up with small prototypes at running spaces. Now the point comes this intercity travel and intracity travel, there are two things. I am talking about the intercity travel from one major city to another city, from one continent to another continent, and not within the city. Intra-city would mean within the city or within mofussil towns. So this new development harbors a great deal of enthusiasm among the technologists, futurologists, and town planners. As a matter of fact, I foresee when Musk says 3 years, I would put the bar at 5 years. There are always some hidden issues which crop up, and that's what we have seen. But revolutionary the step is, and it enhances the capability of the man to traverse distances in a much shorter time. You remember people used to say, the world has become much closer. There was a time when travel from, say, New Delhi to London would take 6 months, the old P&O ships. Then it would take 3 months, and now it takes about 7 hours. So the same would come down ultimately to 30 minutes. And the day is not far off for the simple reason there has been more than a century and a half of human thought and experimentation that has gone into that. When India, following the lead of USA, joined hands with Russia to build a hypersonic planes, at that time, I had a feeling and something was nudging that why not transfer this concept to civilian traffic? Why only use it for finishing or annihilating the world? Why only use it for bombing? And it was quite a pleasant surprise when just a few days back, Elon Musk in Australia, addressing Adelaide University, unfolded this plan, the plan that would make this travel that we have nowadays look like a nightmare, a sheer wastage of time, and a huge contributor to carbon emissions and climate change. Verily, the wisdom of the man and the capacity of the man to envision things and then to translate those visions into reality is what real man is being about. Real human being is about. Homo sapiens have come home to roost, and there is no stopping them. This travel, this mode, heralds a new challenge and a new vista of development. Let's see how far we can go and how sooner can we have this intercity rocket-to-rocket travel. Thank you.